There's no settings. Hello. Now your guys' faces is on the bottom. Started from the bottom, now we're here. I got a notice today that said that TikTok said I could have unlimited lives. I thought I already had that. I really would like the 3-person feature. I'm not sure how you get that. I'm seeing other people have it. What up with that? How's everybody's day going? I see some people here. I'm about to make a huge move in my business. It's so scary doing things different. But I've always found that when you do things different things happen. Not necessarily always good, but so I'll tell you guys. I'm a realtor, you know that. I'm with an agency. And I got a call from a different agency today. And she said, "How much are you making as far as commission split?" I was like, 58%. She's like, "Ooh, 58%. She goes, "Do you know you can make 80 here?" I said, "What's the catch?" She said, "There's no catch." She goes, "Once we make, company, our company split, which is 26,000, which is what I made my agency this year, you make 100% of your own money." I said, "Wow, 100%?" She said 100% after you make them about 26,000. So that's like 60,000 total. So you get about 30, they get about 30, and then everything else is yours. It's not bad. But I'm thinking to myself, why isn't my manager right now fighting for me? I asked my manager last year, I said, "What's going to happen? What's new?" She said nothing. And all my numbers restarted. And in order to get a 10% split, which would be 68 instead of 58, I'd have to do another 65,000 in volume. That's just not appealing to me. Change your TikTok name to the Smacker. Thank God, Harris. But seriously, what do you guys think I should do? What do you guys got going on? 100% of my money. Hi, Jasmine. What's up? Making... What paper? You can get it. My daughter is doing some a class right now, and she got some paper with real Jim Crow laws that she wanted me to share with you guys. A lot of people think that Jim Crow law ended with just the law. Not being able to drink at a fountain, not be able to sit.
There's one about baseball.
There's one about baseball? Not be able to sit in the front of the bus.
There's one about getting...
Like stupid rules.
There's ones about getting circus tickets.
So my daughter, who's at the window? So my daughter printed this out and wanted to share it. Are you writing a paper for this?
No, you're just watching a movie.
Oh, so my daughter was watching a movie, and because she knows mommy does societal change content, she wanted to share it with you guys, as well as me.
You're an engineer. Yeah.
Do my kids know I'm TikTok famous? Yeah. And they want nothing to do with it. Don't ask me why. I'm like, are you guys embarrassed of me or something? No. I feel like they are.
No.
It's not really nice.
I just don't want my face to be on the internet.
You just don't want your face to be on the internet?
No. besides like Insta.
Unless it's your famous. Unless it's pertaining to
I
you.
don't want to be famous. I think people who are famous, like they have annoying paparazzi people, like tracking them down everywhere. And annoying
She's
them.
a smart kid. Oh my god. She is smart.
Also, one
But
time I was talking to Daddy about Crohn's, and then all of a sudden I got an ad for it on my phone for the first time.
she thinks like the algorithm could be for you or against you. It makes sense to not put their face on the internet. Listen, I wouldn't mind if they did. They just make their own decisions like this. Welcome to Connecticut, kids. Okay, where they tell you what to do.
They want to do an emergency. But
My kids, I give them the rope, and they don't ever want to ride the rodeo. I give them the rope, and they just are responsible. I don't know what to tell you. I tell my daughter
I saw him upstairs.
that being a virgin until marriage is important to me. My religion and important. She's my only daughter. And she's like, I was already going to do that.
In a meeting room.
I'm like, how are you already going to do that? She's like, I know exactly how life is. Like, you ain't trying to play a player. I'm like, dang, you are my daughter.
Sit down.
What is my show about? Oh,
You gotta pay attention.
how much time you got?
You gotta type in the chat,
It's mostly about social justice.
ask questions, answer.
And we debate
Well, you have to listen to what
a lot
if they didn't say anything.
about gun control, societal change,
So he's talking, so you gotta pay attention.
politics, and I also share my life with you. Thanks, Doc. My neck hurts. Ow. Expanda, it's domingo, naganda. Yeah.
There's so many that puts black.
My fiance made like a chicken rice concoction,
I know the purple one is not that.
and I was starving. And I don't like spicy food.
Make sure you're paying attention.
But he put hot sauce in it, but it's mild. So it has like a mild spice to it with just rice and onions are all in it with chicken. Very simple. Because I was going to eat a whole hamburger, but I thought this is more healthy. Yeah. I don't think there's a sauce. I think you just put hot sauce in it. So it just tastes like hot sauce, like a mild sauce.
Is there any?
It's not even hot. It's just like enough to tingle your throat, but not enough to burn it on fire.
The beating desk.
I have to say, it was a healthy option and pretty yummy. I mean, I would put mushrooms in it just to turn it up a little bit, but other than that, very yummy.
Okay, this goes right here. This goes right here. This goes right here. This goes right here. Half time.
What are my thoughts on guns? Wow, how much time you got? Well, let's debate about it. Let me change my screen.
Oh, there's someone down there. Okay.
Let me see if I can find it.
Okay.
Ended up deleting a lot of stuff on my page. Got past it. My thoughts on guns. My thoughts on guns. Because he's going to keep calling.
Who's the imposter?
My thoughts on guns are the Second Amendment has nothing to do with gun control.
I think it's still him because he has.
Gun control has nothing to do with the Second Amendment, okay? Gun control has to do with public safety. There's a public crisis going on right now, and nobody's taking it seriously, okay? 40,000 people are anticipated to lose their life this year due to gun violence. And all you guys ever want to talk about is your gun obsessions, okay? It's got to stop. I have no tolerance for people putting their guns above human life,
Space nightlight.
okay? No one's trying to infringe on your guns. What we're trying to do is infringe on your guys' looseness and incapability of storing your guns appropriately. You know, the fact that I know for a fact another mass shooting is going to happen this year, it's just kind of mind-boggling. It's imperative we do something about it. And keep talking about your obsessions with the styles of the gun. is remedial. It's dunce. It's plain in sight that there is a problem here in our country. Second leading cause of children dying, all ages. You know, I really am exhausted with people a part of the gun culture. You should be a part of humanity culture. And it's left, right, black, and white. If I was a judge, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think Americans have the right to bear arms. Because they're just not getting it. Australia got it. Norway got it. Well, Japan definitely got it. Zero tolerance. We're not getting it. And I'm going to say this. As an American, I am disgusted with the adults in this country who are going to continue to buy guns and give their kids access. And they're going to use those guns on other people's innocent children who are unarmed. Disgusting that this is even a debate. Public safety. Safety of the children first. Well, schools are gun-free zones. Yeah, but you're also not supposed to kill and people still die. So what are you going to do about it? What are we going to do about it, is what I'm saying. Well, people still can die from knives. Well, no, duh. People can die from many things. Allergies, poison. I don't freaking know what you want to make up out of your whataboutism freaking pocket. But what are we going to do about it? Red flag laws are very effective. Yet all of these men, which are the problem, not the women. I would say this. Women can have guns. Men cannot. How about that? Because men say, well, we can't have red flag laws because, you know, these women are going to make things up. They're going to abuse the red flag laws. Let me tell you something. If you are worried about your wife or girlfriend snitching on you, then there's something wrong with you anyway. Okay? So take the gun. That's just how I feel about it. As a parent, it's terrifying. You guys just don't get it. And I made a song about it too. Your girl's about to make a music video.
They are doing big words.
Thoughts on the nominee for Supreme Court Justice? Oh, amazing. Joe Biden's doing it again. He's making a point to just tackle down our societal issues. Not only is he going to nominate a woman, which women should be excited for. He's pro-woman. Joe Biden might be a feminist. Can we normalize this, by the way? Not only that, I think he's pro-black. To be honest. Love it. And let's make an emphasis on the qualifications. She will be way overqualified. And Joe Biden said it's way overdue. Thank God for Joe Biden. Is what I have to say. What are they going to say now about Joe? What did Joe ever do for the black community? Well, what isn't he doing? Is what I want to know. Because I'm pretty sure I got a check. And I know you got a check. And now we're going to have a black woman in power? Don't tell me what he ain't doing. Tell me what you're doing. I want to know what you are doing. And you are doing. And you are doing. Let Joe just keep on going. Because the Trump train is back. Oh, Trump just said a whole bunch of stuff. He talking about he gonna have the people that caused $30 million in damage be exonerated. And multiple people have died. And now they're saying some died from natural causes. So therefore, it was okay to have a horrible environment for people that might not have been in the condition to deal with a freaking insurrection and a freaking coup that was trying to freaking, take over the Capitol. Amazing. country that we live in. If that was black people, they would have been dead before they even got to the gates. Here we got cops waving people into the Capitol. Who's going to pay for this? Because I don't want to pay for it with my tax money this year. I'm not paying for it. They need to pay for it. Amazing country that we live in.
What apple was it?
And then have the nerve to do a compare and contrast with the BLM. Oh, I can't stand it.
I saw
What's up,
that.
sis?
But I have two questions. When it comes to your when you talk about guns, do you think there should be more restrictions, or do you think there should be like anti-guns, like no more guns? I think some people are extreme with guns, some people aren't. So I'm just curious your thoughts.
Yeah, I 100% would like sensible gun laws.
Mhm.
Okay?
Right.
But for some reason, love, the gun culture people with all races, they're people, just humans here in the United States. It is an American culture.
Right.
Just don't understand that public safety should be imperative for everyone. That's a human right. But when they hear gun control, emphasis on the control, they think infringement. Please explain that to me. I don't get it.
Because I think it's very easy. My brother, when he went to go get his gun, he went to a gun convention, and they didn't check. They didn't check his background.
Hey.
Come back. Your noise is a little loud. I want to hear our sister here. Go ahead.
But they didn't check in his information. Like, he could easily just get a gun for them. I was like, wait, what? Is that how it works here? But because it's private sector, they could.
What region? Just say northeast, south, or...
I'm in Alabama.
Oh, okay.
Pacific. Yeah.
Right now, Alabama is the #1 state for gun violence.
Yes, definitely.
But they don't want to normalize that in the media. The media is not portraying the reality of the numbers and the spaces where these high gun violence crimes are happening. Why?
Right. Exactly. And my second question. So I was looking at the nominees for judges, Supreme Court. The one I personally like more, I was gonna ask you which one you like more, but I like Leonardo. I think that's how you say her name. Leonardo. I don't know how to say her name.
Let me look her up right now. Let me see. All right. Let's try to figure out what this is all about. That's awesome. You're already on top of it. What's up, bro? You're already trying to figure out who should be it.
Right.
That's amazing to me that you care too.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, Supreme. Let's do the homework. Supreme Court elections, right? Isn't that what it'd be under?
Right. And they're all more qualified than the Amy. Is that her name? Yeah, they all more qualified than her. No shade to her.
I'm not seeing Supreme Court picks Holden Port. Huh. Let's see. Hey, what's going on with you? You always working.
No, I was picking up the kids right now, actually. Working.
Oh, good.
Yeah, right now I'm picking up the kids. Yeah, so you guys, you know my stance on the gun situation.
I don't really. Can you remind me? Because you said I knew last time, and I think I might have not understood where you stand on it. Could you just give me a little reminder?
I'm pro protection. You know what I'm saying? Every instance where we see a government go to the point where they're gonna take over, they pass the rule of taking away the weapons. And so the fact that America still has its weapons, there's still a chance to say survival if a tyrannical government tried to ramp or go against them as ops or militia, or so they can militia up. You can't militia up if you have no weapons. And I understand it's a double-edged sword, because the other side of it, or you got some thugs that, there's no home training because, mom and dad weren't really in the position to have these children. And so therefore they got the guns, and they're making their money, and they have to blast at their enemies, and it does a whole bunch. It's a double-edged sword, but we can't take away from people that would need to protect themselves in case of a tyrannical government. And as we can see, the government is tyrannical.
That's the same fear as the majority dominant race. But can I tell you this as an
No,
African American person?
fear.
What'd you say?
Same fear. They're
Yeah,
they're trying to mandate.
Listen, the reason why I bring up race is because we're minorities. So
Right.
there's not enough of us for our vote to really count, to be honest.
Exactly.
We are minorities, so it is what it is. But what I want to say is the dominant race, and we know who that is, has a fear of a tyrannical government. Black people or brown people in this country, really, that's not valid because we've been dealing with a tyrannical society. So if we've been dealing already with a tyrannical government, which we have, why haven't we done anything about it then?
Well,
We
you know,
fight
it's a
in the
tyrannical
wars.
government.
We fight in their wars. We have become their number. I mean, we've allied and rallied around them. Anything pertaining to the American, the American fights. I mean, we could have done something. Well, we had guns when we were in the military, but we didn't. So many times African Americans could have fought back and we didn't. Why? So why should they?
No, that's the thing though. I'm pretty sure we have fought back, but they don't document. They don't listen.
I like to see
His
that
story is not his story. His story is not going to tell the ferociousness of our story, because it would make no sense to put that in the mind of young children that you have the ability to fight back, overpower, or even scare. So that would be erased. It would look like we're helpless, like we haven't done something. Let's not get it twisted.
I do feel like we've been helpless.
No, see, I can't say that because, like I told you last time I wasn't alive, I got a whole sect in Philadelphia that have their own government, their own jurisdiction based on the black man's nationality on the North American landmass. We're not in a position of like helplessness. No, we're in a position of lack of information. That's all it is.
So tell me why are black men killing each other instead of standing up to the government that has been treating us like shit since we got here?
Lack of information.
I agree. I can't disagree with that.
Lack of information. Like, come on, like, not everybody knows all the steps and things that happened during the time of slavery, Jim Crow, all that stuff. They would have to actually literally choose to sit down, tap in, and say, you know what, this has emotionally impacted me to the point where I'm going to use my thuggy, gangster, whatever you want to call it, towards the cause. Okay,
Yeah,
so that's me. I use my thuggy, my gangster, towards the cause, because being a thuggy and a gangster is too easy. I can slide up on a nigga. It's not a big deal. But the whole point of it, the whole point of that is, look at a lot of our black men don't realize they have been doing, I say, a minor of military training. That's street training. If you deal with a real street nigger, you're going to see and put them against a college person. So I mean a street nigger who took in information also, like knowledge. They'll blow them away when it comes to knowing anything in society. It's not tangibly, they'll just sound like robots. But the street nigger will be like, learn. You can tell when you're getting played. Someone's trying to double talk. And I've experienced this all across the board, and I'm thinking like, oh man, the only downside to the street nigger stuff is like, shit, you get a criminal record. You know what I'm saying? Do a couple years in jail.
or you die.
Yo,
there's so many.
Or you die. Yo, we can't always live. We can't always live. We can't always live. You know what I'm saying?
There is a boy that reminded me of my brother in Hawaii, and when he moved to Hawaii, there's not a lot of black people that are from Hawaii like me. So when a black person comes and moves to the island, it's like, yo, you just want to be all up in their face. And my friend Chuck was one of them. Like, he instantly became a friend of the family, best friends with my brother. But he said that he came to Hawaii because he did something, and he never told me exactly what that is. But I can tell you it was probably something in that regard in California.
Right.
So he came to Hawaii because, how are they going to catch him on an island? They wouldn't even look to think he's, in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. But because he did well for a while, But he even met a Japanese girl and has 2 daughters, and I still talk to his mom. But he got shot and thrown in a dumpster. Now in Hawaii, we don't even really got guns like that. So what type of lifestyle follows you? You know what I'm saying? I mean, he got killed
Karma.
in a dumpster. I can't wrap my
No,
head
you
around
see.
that.
Listen, you see how you thought about
So
without
it's
saying
not
karma. You
just
thought
it's
about
not just
karma.
the thuggy life. It's an actual. I think it's like a personal a battle, like a spiritual battle. If you, no matter what a society is like, governments like, jobs are like, people are like, if you can't be right on this earth, you gonna find a way to be a thug, right?
I think the thug thing is not really wrong. It's not a wrong thing. It's just like the warrior
It's
thing is
not
not
right.
wrong. A warrior,
Isn't right.
it's just like the police is not actually wrong. It's the police in his actions. It's the thug in his actions. It's the gangster in his actions. It's the politician in his actions, not the actual individual or the term. We have to get off that. If we think yin and yang, we're gonna see dysfunctional and functional. We're gonna see a gangster
Yeah.
and a politician, but it's really functional. You know what I'm saying? But we can see a gangster and a politician where it's just dysfunctional. We literally have to have we have to have the concept of karma when we speak about things, and the balance of yin and yang. And then when you add in material and spirit, the equation now it's vast now, and it's understandable why things are the way they are. A lot of people are just the secular. They're what's it called, tunnel vision. If you're tunnel vision on one subject, but you're not bringing the other stuff in because the other stuff are related to it, then how could you really have the real concept of what's going on?
But right is right and wrong is wrong. Point blank. Period. And I don't think Black people have to be commingled with a thug style of life, a thuggy life. I don't think there's anything appealing to that. I'm from an island where
it's not about.
Listen, Hawaii doesn't tell you this. Y'all see high life, but y'all don't see the real Hawaii life. Okay, prostitution is huge back on my island. Girls are, and you know what? It's a lifestyle that looks appealing. I remember when I was 17, I was watching the girls ride around a Louis Vuitton special made cars. I mean, just beautiful clothes. They always look like they were really well taken care of. That looked really appealing to me, but I'm so glad I never did that. Because, I mean, how many of them got arrested? How many of them are being beaten? How many of them are on drugs? How many of them are spiritually lost? Probably a lot of them. So there is consequences to the thuggy life.
There's that, but there's also how I ask, what do you think? What about this side? How many of them through their experience woke up and actually seen farther than most people that are just living the mundane life? How many of them woke up to say, oh, this is actually what God is? Actually, this is a purpose for me to fight against. Sometimes people find purpose in decadence. That's why out of chaos comes order. That's why yin and yang must prevail.
I get the yin and yang. But for me, the equilibrium has to be within your spirit. And that doesn't mean that the yin and yang is devilish or evil or wrong or stealing or whatever. You can have a yin and yang as far as a balance life. And that could be seeking things that are good. So many people worry about their guns. And I'm like, why aren't you worried about your pockets? I'm worried about my check account having zeros. Y'all worried about pushing up to your guns you ain't never even gonna use. Those things got dust on.
You gotta have both, man. You gotta think like, okay, government wise. The reason why governments have protective services and military is because of being able to get taken out, because of their power, because they don't want to get cornered and influenced, and they use weapons. And those other people, and the people that are protecting them, like security or off-duty police, they have like martial arts, military training. Like, military is part of life. Fighting is part of life. Death is part of life.
That's true. I agree with you. But what I'm saying is, as a country, as a nation, we shouldn't be fighting with each other, is what I'm saying. We shouldn't be fighting with our neighbors, is what I'm saying. We can fight in better ways.
I hear what you're saying.
Not an army against each other. What is that thing? A house divided cannot stand.
It's very true.
So once we change our culture, which I think we are making progression, to be honest, we'll start to open our eyes and be a part of this woke culture that fights for the right reasons. And the yin and yang doesn't mean you have to risk your life down the street going to the store.
It's just a condition right now where what it's doing. When I look at all the equations of, say, living in the hood and not going out at night or going out at night and your awareness is up, it's like highly in tune because you're like, okay, well, I can't let no one approach me, talk to me. This is building what we call warrior mentality. These are warrior programs that you would get in the military, and if we look at it, the black race is at war right now within themselves. Yes, within themselves. Yes, but also within a system that if they see them gathering numbers,
we over here fighting each other and fighting the government. Why?
Well, it's inevitable until we agree in a direction. The thing is, we all have thoughts of what to do, but everyone I talk to, they want how to figure out how to work within the system. But we know the best template is if we look at a Tulsa, Oklahoma, or Central Park in the United States, or one of those 5 cities that are underwater, those were all black and they were ran all black. So we know that we can get along. It's just certain black folks, they were able to get along. And we know that template is workable. So it's like you have to find people like that. Right now, we're in a place.
Like-minded people don't only exist in the black community, though. Like-minded people exist in all subjects. It's called B2B, business to business. Okay, so I just feel like we got to get over the gun. That's just once we stop picking up a gun and start picking up these books and making a new cultural change moving forward, that we are going to care about being in politics. Because no thanks to the Republican Party who started the Lily White movement. It's not ancestors. This is what I want, a new culture. Stop saying ancestors. It wasn't that long ago. I'm talking your great grandmother's mother.
Right.
Okay. That's your family. Our family fought for us to have the right to vote, for us to have human rights here in this country, which we should have got from the gate. And I have to say, we ain't there yet. 50 years ago, the Jim Crow law was in place. And thanks to my daughter, Isabella, she sent this to me. This is called the Jim Crow laws. Please bear with me if you have the time. From the 1880s into the 1960s, the majority of American states enforced segregation through Jim Crow law, so-called after a black character in minstrel shows. Y'all know what that guy looked like, right? Just a really a horrible caricature. From Delaware of California, and he was a white guy too, just so you know. Jim was a white guy who performed disgusting stuff. Anyway, from Delaware to California and from North Dakota to Texas, many states and cities too could impose legal punishments on people for consorting with members of another race. That wasn't that long ago. The most common types of laws forbid intermarriage. So I would be in jail and ordered business owners and public institutions to keep their black and white clientele separated. So a black person could be in a restaurant, but they would have a colored section. Here's a sample of laws from various states. Nurses. No person or corporation shall require any white female nurse to nurse inwards or rooms in hospitals, either public or private, in which Negro men are placed. That was in Alabama for my sister from Alabama. What? Ew.
No, listen.
Insecurity is that?
Listen.
Hold on, let me just
okay, so
buses.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get through this real quick. Buses. No person or corporation shall require any white female nurse. Oh wait, I already did that. Buses. All passenger stations in the state operated by any motor transportation company shall be separated. Waiting rooms or space in separate ticket windows for the white and colored races. Also, Alabama. Restaurants. It shall be unlawful to conduct a restaurant or other place for the serving of food in the city in which white and colored people are served in the same room, unless such white and colored persons are effectively effectually separated by a solid partition, extending from the floor upward to a distance of 7 feet or higher, and unless a separate entrance from the street is provided for each compartment. Alabama. Disgusting. Toilet facilities. Male. Every employer of white or Negro, they called us Negroes back then, males shall provide for such white or Negro males reasonably accessible and separate toilet facilities. That's also in Alabama. So I guess black men cannot go to the bathroom with white men. This is like the most pettiest like laws ever. Like, are you kidding me? Like, you could go to jail if you did not follow these laws. It wasn't that long ago. Mm-hmm. So when white people, our peers, come to my show and try to tell me how to think and feel, and they, why are you yelling? Don't tell me how to be. You don't set the standards for me. This is 2022. All right. Intermarriage, which I'm in one. It shall be unlawful for, actually, Malcolm X went to jail for this, I think. It shall be unlawful for a white person to marry anyone except a white person. Yet white men been with black women since we got here. Ain't that the gag? So you can do us, but you can't marry us.
But they didn't marry though. They weren't marrying though. They were joking.
But we've been in the White House. Go run it.
Right? Yeah. But at this moment in time, currently, no black woman wants to be someone's pom pom.
Excuse me?
Like really? No black woman wants to be someone's pom pom. They want to be someone's wife. Pom pom, yeah.
I love that song, by the way. Listen, I'm proud to be my man's pom pom because he makes sure these bills are paid.
Right, but that's different though. But you're pretty much his wife, whether you have a ring or not. No one wants to be someone's pom pom. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they were. They're someone's pom pom. And like, okay, so everything you spoke about, I understand. I understand what you're saying. The thing about it like this: if I'm your enemy and we go to war and I win, do you expect me to treat you nicely?
Oh, you better.
Why? We just went to war. I just raped your greats, took children, sold children, bred children. Like this is bred children. I'm a slave master. I'm just look. Why would you expect me to treat you nice when I've done everything under the sun not to treat you nice? Why would I make laws in favor of you or anyone that looks like you if I did all those things? Not only that, if we go back and we look at the ancestors of those people that came here to North America, it's because we already had treaties over there. So they came over here so they can break past the laws, the treaties, and do the same thing by denationalizing some black folks. So, and if we go back there, we see that the white folks weren't even treating their own decently. So if you have people that look, but listen, if you look at people that, all I'm saying is if you look at certain people and you know that they won't treat their own decently, you can't expect them to treat anyone else. We actually can't. The fact that we're even thinking about they had these laws, they had this. We have to think about our awareness. This is war, baby. What you mean? What you want from me?
It's so sad. I don't disagree with you, but I just feel like you're an extremist sometimes.
No extremist. I understand what you're saying. What I'm saying, it's war. So what you expect? What you expect from me if I'm the people putting that on?
The war has been over. This is my issue.
No, it hasn't.
The war is over. I'm telling you. But society
it's not.
is still adjusting to the war ending. There is an aftermath for centuries of destruction in our society, and that includes and not limited to our laws and our systems in place and things of that nature.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Only ended 50 years ago. We're still working on making our country better.
Physically, the war is not over. Okay? Contractually, the war is not over. Spiritually, the war is not over. Emotionally, the war is not over. Because you can see the propaganda they put to rise up your emotions, to make you contest your reality, like what's real. Okay, so they're coming. Okay, until they have the black woman under their boot, as in like, we disband your man. Give up that black man that you think of. Because they're trying to ultimately separate. The war is not over.
It's not up to them. Black men been separated from white women. I mean, black women, I'm sorry, and went to white women. Look at Kanye.
No, it's not
look
true.
At Kobe.
That's not
He's
true.
Latino women.
That's
Black
not true. Okay, so look at Denzel. Okay, so if you say that, and we say Denzel, what are you gonna say about Denzel then? What about Denzel? He's with his wife. What about Ice Cube? He's with his wife. You know what I'm saying? So like, come on, Snoop Dogg. He's with his wife. You don't give the other side, but not give the other side. Come on, don't do that.
No, I will say Denzel Washington is one. He's been with his wife for a long time, and it's a
Ice
very
Cube
story. But
Ice Cube,
yeah,
Snoop Dogg,
and Jay-Z. Listen, it's not
right?
all
Come
black
on,
men, but it is a lot of
right.
black men. For instance, last year at TikTok, there was a trend where black men were going down the line, and they had black woman or white woman, and they were pushing all of their friends to the white woman. And listen, there's nothing wrong with having a preference, but this is not only in society, it's also on social media, it's in the movies, where we are constantly seeing white women be fetishized. And not only that, also Asian women. My brother has 5 baby mamas from all Japanese women. Like,
Okay.
serial Japanese daters.
And that's the thing about it. We have to realize as a people, we have to realize
my brother
this.
has so many kids. My brother has so many
genetics
Asian kids. He created a new race called Blasian. I can't help it be funny.
Yeah. So
gotta
look at we're yeah, for sure. But we're at a place, man. We shouldn't be delegating about what black woman's doing with what race or black man, because genetically our genes are strong. So you deal with another race. If I go deal with East Indian, Native American, Japanese, Chinese, they gonna come up with me. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, you see,
Superiority, baby.
Japanese
Yo,
love black
you.
Okay, so let me.
Yo, so I'm trying to say all it is, man. The reason why.
Every time a Japanese girl back home gets with a black guy, I swear to God, she speaks good English now. She speaks good English. Not only does she have to speak English, she can dance, she can cook. She doesn't only cook, she be cooking collard greens, fried chicken. I mean, and she's obedient and fun too. I'm telling you.
Yo, he gives. Yo, he widens up those eyes.
When I first met her, I couldn't understand anything she said. Now she goes, "Girl, what you want to do?" And got money to do it too. All right, so let me get.
See, that's that widen. That's that. Oh, that's that 3. There, yo. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care who my children. My kids are biracial. All 3 of them are black and white, and they all feel different about it. My youngest one don't play. You cannot say that he's white without telling you that he's black. And my son looks white as hell. He gets very upset. He is very pro-black. I don't tell me where he gets it from. I don't know. Maybe me. But my older ones, they're half Slovakian and Italian or whatever. They just really don't want an identity. They don't want to choose. They're like, who has to do that? Like, they just want to live their life, and they feel like they're being pulled in society left and right. It is what I just tell them. Hey, listen, I don't want you to choose ever. You're white and you're black, but I want you to appreciate your blackness because they're white passing, and that's not going to work for my son because my son looks Puerto Rican and he ain't. But for some reason, when you mix white and black, they come out Puerto Rican.
Well, it depends on the dilution of the white and the white and the dilution of the black. Like it's like how strong your genetics, which will bring out the Puerto Rican look. You know, I can't have a kid that looks Puerto Rican. Personally, it's not possible.
Listen,
I sat down because I have 6 kids. 2 are chocolate like me because I dealt with a black woman for my last 2. My other 4 are from a white woman, Finnish, Swedish, half part Native American. So this is, but then I see.
Yeah.
No, she's cool.
Your
She's cool, man. My kids are freaking.
Can we just say that?
Oh yeah.
Babies are adorable. I don't care. Okay.
Yeah, it's true. And I tell them like this. You can do what you want in your life, but you have to understand. There's the Yakub and the Yeshmal. Yeshmal was about creating a black society, bringing your black genetics back. Yakub was about genetic splicing and creating a white society that rules over black society. We can find this story in the black root science. We can find this story in Islam. We can find this story in what's the other place? the big head scientist. And so when you look at these things, we got to actually look at what's going on. We have a race that from a long time has been pushing genetic superiority and intermingling and mixing. And when we look at DNA is not mixing, it's diluting. So now if my children go deal with a white woman,
Dr. Johnson, I can't do that. I pushed out a kid that's biracial. I think I made an angel. I told my daughter since she was a little girl, I prayed for my daughter to have blue eyes. Her dad has brown eyes. I have brown eyes. I prayed. My first child was a girl. And I said, God, if you make her eyes blue, I know that's crazy to ask, but I feel like I will know that you hear me. My daughter came out with the bluest eyes. They're still blue to this day. And I feel like she's an angel sent from heaven. She could have been any child. I mean, she could have been a full black kid. I prayed for it. And I really don't see her as a race. I see her as a human being. And that's it. But anyways, she is white passing, and I tried to make a point, this is actually from Izzy. She actually gave this to me. I make a point to tell her because she looks more white, that she might have privileges on this earth, and I want her to never allow any black person that she works with, lives next to deal with racism. I want my daughter to stand up because they're gonna be telling my daughter some things. Hell, they tell me some things because of how friendly I am. I want my daughter to have zero tolerance. And I want her to listen to all the things that they say, take notes, and hold them accountable. She's going to be like, by the way, my mother's black. And they're going to be like, oh my God, because people do come out the pocket. Okay, so let me finish this up. So that intermarriage law was done in Georgia. Any marriage in violation of the section shall be void in Georgia. So the next one, I have about 5 or 6 months. Burial. How you gonna gang bang on people dying? Don't we all bleed red? They said the officer in charge shall not bury or allow to be buried any colored person upon ground set apart or used for the burial of a white person. Georgia. So a black person could not even bury a white person in bones.
It's not a big deal. Who would want to do that? After the decadence?
That's Georgia. Okay, so as you can see a trend, this is all southern states. What is this? Amateur baseball? You're not even talking about professional baseball, yo. Really? I want him to focus on his kids. So come back, brother, when you done with your 6 kids. I can't. I stopped at 3. My tubes are tied. I pay my bills. My bills are paid. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I saw that.
And nobody gets it.
I get it.
She said, I pay my bills. My bills are paid. You know the 2 sisters trying to lose weight?
Yeah, I seen this video. Okay. I'm Gen Z.
Okay, so I know this is why I shouldn't drink because I'm naturally high. I don't know. Amateur baseball. It shall be unlawful for any amateur white baseball team to play baseball on any vacant lot or baseball diamond within 2 blocks of a playground devoted to the Negro race. So they I like how they switch the words of devoted. Right. Like, we want you to play because you're good, but you just can't play when we play. And it shall be unlawful for any amateur colored baseball team to play baseball in any vacant lot or baseball diamond within 2 blocks of any playground devoted to the white race. And that was in Georgia. So, what's his name? Jackie Robinson ended that. He deaded that.
Right.
And there's some amazing pictures with Jackie Robinson. You guys did you watch that movie on Netflix? Oh my God. That's just such a good movie. Huh?
What's the name of it?
Jackie Robinson. I'll have to look it up. But I'm pretty sure if you look up Jackie Robinson movies, it's gonna pop up. It's a real good book. Good a flick. Okay, so parks. It shall be unlawful. I just want you guys to get the mentality of American culture. Let's make America great again. This is what they're talking about. You can't sugarcoat that. Because 50 years ago, this was valid. This was lawful. So they want to make America great again. Are you talking about the 90s? Because I can actually agree with that. Are you talking about the Clinton days? Are you talking about the Jinko days? NSYNC? Yeah, I think those days were good. I don't know. I was a kid. Anyway. Parks. It shall be unlawful for colored people to frequent any park owned or maintained by the city for the benefit, use, and enjoyment of white persons, and unlawful for any white person to frequent any park owned or maintained by the city for use and benefit of colored persons in Georgia. Now you're talking about the kids. Like, when does it end? All right. So, my whole point of this is to get you guys to understand that Jim Crow law was not just like not to drink at a fountain or sit on the bus. They always like to over glorify, these wonderful people like Rosa Parks and other people. But it was just so much deeper than that. This really affected our whole race in the South. This is our society. I mean, this was like a culture. So imagine how that must have felt like, knowing that these people are just human, but they have rights that we don't have because we're not their race. Right. So when people come here and they say, Andrea, why is it always got to be about race? Well, why are you even so pressed about it? When I have to, in class or even in history, have to be reminded that I should be lucky to even be able to sit in the presence of white people, that I should be lucky to even be able to get a job here in this country, that I should be lucky to even get an opportunity to be the vice president of the United States, that I should be lucky to even be given the opportunities, because 50 years ago it would have never happened. We're not lucky. We literally are fighting for basic human equality. Mm-hmm. It's not even decent. Like, I couldn't even imagine going to Ireland and feeling superior. Let's just say we become the Moors again, because the Moors were very successful, which I want to do a whole study on them this year. Imagine us taking over Ireland and then making them be separate. It's just disgusting. Anyway, circus tickets.
Really?
They didn't really have real entertainment back then. They didn't have TikTok. All circuses, shows, and tent exhibitions to which the attendance of more than one race is invited or expected to attend shall provide for the convenience of its patrons not less than 2 ticket offices with individual ticket sellers and not less than 2 entrances to the said performance, with individual ticket takers and receivers, and in the case of an outside or tent performance, the said ticket office shall not be less than 25 feet apart. Louisiana. What rap song is that? Louisiana. Are you kidding me?
You should post a video about this, because I never heard of this.
I'm hoping that. Well, this is all being recorded, so I usually share this if I feel like it's worthy. It has enough information on my YouTube, and I'll clip it and put it on TikTok. You only get 3 minutes. Right. So the blind, and I love that you've been like a hype chick. I love it. Like, you're not like an angry. I've been dealing with a lot of like angry women on here. It's like, why? I'm a love bug. Like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Okay. The blind, the bored. I wish more girls came here with information. Like, I wish we were just like nerds, just freaking trying to figure out how to fix the society. Anyway. Right. But they just want to fight and battle. Like, if we don't agree with each other, it's just kind of amazing. I'm like, we don't have to agree. Listen, I'm pro gun control. If you're pro gun because you live in the middle of Chicago or Louisiana or Baltimore, I completely understand. I would never want to be in a place like Baltimore where they just shot a woman cop that's black, sitting in her car on 3rd shift. But I also would say I would never be there. Like, if I knew that my life was in danger and more than 5 people were dying a week, that's excessive. I think I'd have to move. But to each his own. The board of trustees shall maintain a separate building on separate ground for the admission, care, instruction, and support of all blind persons of color or black race. Okay, wait. So is that injustice? The board of trustees shall maintain a separate building or separate ground for the admission, care, instruction, and support of all blind persons. So is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's bad. They're separating black people from because of their disability. Blind? Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, I can't. Okay, promotion of equality. Hey, maybe this is sunlight.
Right.
Any person who shall be guilty of printing, publishing, or circulating printed, typewritten, or written matter, urging or presenting for public acceptance, or general information, arguments, or suggestions in favor of social equality. That's what I do. And maybe you too.
Right.
Or of intermarriage between whites and Negroes. I can't. Shall be guilty of a misdemeanor and subject to a fine of not exceeding $500, which was probably a lot back in those days, or imprisonment not exceeding 6 months, or both. Mississippi.
Not even surprised.
So you don't even want me to promote equality, and if you dare, $500 and maximum 6 months. Prisons. The warden shall see. I'm really interested because my man works in the correction facility, and I feel like nothing's changed. Prisons. The warden shall see that the white convicts shall have separate apartments for both eating, sleeping from the Negro convicts. So even in jail, there's a sense of superiority. Like I'm a convict, but I'm not a black convict. You over there. All right, 2 more. Education. Shall I repeat that? For those of you in the back. It's so disgusting. The reason why I say that is because I have said this. If I was to be a person of power, which maybe I could be, hey, don't knock my dreams. I would make sure that every African American or woman of color, men of color, go to college for free. Mm-hmm. No, I wasn't kept from educating myself, but my mom has like a elementary level of education. My mother was born during the Jim Crow law, and her education is very little. And her mother and her mother's mother, their education sucked. So while you got good education from your parents and your grandparents because they went to Harvard or whatever the hell, a lot of black people got the short end of the stick because let's just say we went home with our homework. Saying the education is where they discriminated most, I think. So this is what they did during the Jim Crow law. Separate free schools shall be established for the education of children of African descent. And it shall be unlawful for any colored child to attend any white school or any white child to attend a colored school. So it was vice versa. And then last one. But thanks God for Ruby Bridges, who's 67 years old today. What a strong little girl for her. But she had to pass the test. That's what I read. And that's what I think nobody ever talks about. Is the mere fact that Ruby Bridges got in because she qualified. Kindergarten. There's a lot of kids that didn't pass that test and didn't get to go to school in kindergarten. Textbooks. Books shall be interchangeable. What does that mean? I'm having an island. What do you mean interchangeable? Like you can't, like what? Right. Pass it? Or, I don't. What? It means that black people and white people can't have the same learning. They can't have the same books, or share the books. They can't share or have the same books. They have to have different books between the white and colored schools, but shall continue to be used by the race first using them. So whatever books they get, that's what you get. Right. And you couldn't swap or something.
That's crazy.
Like, what are your thoughts about that? Like, to me, I feel mentally abused. Like, I'm gonna need therapy.
To me, I still see some of it today. Like the prison one, there's still supremacy in the prison systems with white people. It's not a surprise. Whether it's going to jail or in jail. So the sentencing is different. The people inside is different. So I agree. I still see some of it today. So I'm not surprised.
Right. And remember, it wasn't that long ago.
Right.
You sound so intelligent. Are you in college?
Yes, I am.
Wow, you could tell a person that goes to college because they speak so eloquently. With like you could hear the periods.
Right.
Well, comma. It's good. That's so wonderful. What do you? What's your major?
I'm studying paralegal studies.
Found it.
Yes.
Because the girl Chesley, I say her name wrong. Christ. Chris. Chelsea Chris
Oh,
was an attorney. She just killed herself. I don't really believe that she did, but she was
you
in
and me
law.
both.
Huh?
You and me both.
Yeah, I'd like to know your thoughts on that. I
It
had a dream
doesn't
about
make
her last night.
sense. It doesn't make sense. 3 days ago, she posted on TikTok. It doesn't make sense. Like,
It doesn't. Like,
we
I was
should
just
get
looking
more.
at her Instagram and I was like,
Right. Like, I get it could happen, but I feel like it's something else they're not telling us. Like, I guess the reason, I guess it's just for the family to know, but it
Yeah.
just doesn't make sense. She's so
doesn't.
beautiful. And she was so, like, everyone loved her.
See, I'm going to admit that I didn't know about her till yesterday when I
Really?
reported that because that's what I want to do. I want opportunities like she has. And I am going to be a broker soon in real estate.
Mhm.
And I don't want to be showing houses till I die. Like, I want to be able
Right.
to be a part of real estate and not have to be in my car in midwinter. So the next transition would be to be a closing agent. In Connecticut, you have to be an attorney to close a transaction. So that's my goal. So if I would have known about her, I probably would have followed her every day. She even had, like, I was watching all her videos today. She was saying that she hated being an attorney. And I was like, oh my God, that's what I want to do one day. And she said, like, it was a lot of discrimination going on. She said one time she had her book and it went to a disposition. And the lady said, when's the attorney coming? And she's just like, I'm the attorney. I mean, she was the prime example of what I feel is the pillar of African American women.
Right.
Period.
And she was very vocal about everything, like everything she went through when she was in law school, after law school, her hair, how people treat her. It was a lot of information, and it's just sad about that.
But I feel like she's going to get even more famous now that she's dead. And it's just like, what trend is that going to create?
Right.
You know, why do we have to die to be noticed? You know, it's just so sad. But she was very much accomplished. I would have to say her 30 years weren't wasted. Like, she was Miss America, attorney, her own business. I actually thought about buying some of her earrings because I was watching all her stuff today. And I don't know, hopefully the money might go to suicidal awareness if her mother wants to help out. I definitely love her jewelry. Anyway, so sad, you guys. I can't. You know, it's not like you know them, but because if you're, I don't know, tell me am I weird? Because I'm an African American woman and I see another African American woman, it's almost like we're connected. Like,
I understand that. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, I don't even know her. We never met before, but just seeing that, it felt like a connection or something. Something was there. So yeah.
Yeah. And I think the same thing with Kyle Rittenhouse. Okay, because you know he definitely killed 2 people, but everybody thought he was their little brother or some shit that they had to come rescue him.
What's her name? Who the boyfriend killed her on a Tinder date or something at her home? What was her name? Okay, so she went to the house and they believed that she was drugged. Oh. Let me look it up.
Yeah. If you have another phone or something, let us know. How come you keep seeing this on my nose? I don't know. Okay. Number 4, lynching. While our friend is, our eloquent friend is looking up some information. Let's talk about the lynching of the Jim Crow law. I know I'm a goofball. Okay. Lynching is the practice whereby a mob, usually several dozen or several hundred persons, takes the law into their own hands in order to injure and kill a person. Now, Ahmaud Arbery, was that a lynching? Was that a modern day lynching? I think so. Anyways, what did they use? A gun. Okay, moving on. So the gun could be the new noose. Think about that one. Poke, poke, poke. In order to injure and kill a person accused of some wrongdoing. The alleged offense can range from a serious crime like theft or murder to a mere violation of local customs and sensibilities. The issue of the victim's guilt is usually secondary since the mob serves a prosecutor, judge, jury, and executor, which nobody has the right to be that.
Right.
And that's what how Rittenhouse was.
Exactly.
So think about that. That was a lynching.
And the judge was on his side. So I agree. And he was vocal about it. What judge tells you, like, he basically mandated the whole thing and not letting Kyle Rittenhouse lawyers speak. It was the judge speaking most of the time. So it was such a biased case.
Oh, absolutely. I can't believe that judge is still in practice, to be honest. I was embarrassed for our country. I was like, oh my God.
Right.
Like,
also,
that would have never happened if that was a black boy. And you
right.
know. Okay.
And I found the woman. Her name is Lauren Smith Fields. I don't know if you heard of her. So
I just did a study on her. I think I just reported her. Oh,
really?
Yeah, but tell me more.
So she was.
I report so many people dying.
It's too much. But yeah.
Yeah, but go ahead.
She was on a date with her Tinder date boyfriend, a white man. Yep, that was her.
Go ahead.
And the thing is that the story doesn't make sense whatsoever. Like, it doesn't make sense. But my problem is that the police didn't collect any sufficient evidence, so they had to fire the police and hire a new investigator. That shows you that they never took the case serious in the first place. And this guy not even being detained or anything. He didn't even tell the family. The police didn't even tell the family. The landlord did. So the whole case is a mess. And it just shows you. And then the same day, another black woman was killed too. I just saw that story. I need to look up more about it. I saw it on TikTok.
Yeah.
Because the news don't cover
I live in Connecticut, not far from Bridgeport. I just sold a multifamily in Bridgeport. So I did not report on it instantly because it's just too close to home.
Right.
Because if I find out officials live near me and I have to be, I'm knocking on the door. And also my fiance is a correctional officer. So, I was like, oh, that's too close.
Exactly.
But and I knew that my voice would not be heard on the topic. Right. I knew that no matter what I say, that it needs a white voice. And there was tons of our white peers here on TikTok that made a point to spread this case. And it did go viral. A lot of people know about this case thanks to them. And then I did post about it. It didn't even get that many views. Isn't crazy? But it's not about the views. It's not about the clout. It's about her story being told. And this is just another story where, 65,000 black women. I reported this last year. Please don't jump on that chair, Jordan. 65,000 black women have gone missing. And there is a disproportionate of reporting in the media. And it's something that needs to be addressed immediately. So sad. Why does it have to be a damsel in distress or a white woman for the whole world to care about it? Like Gabby Petito, she was in a domestic violence situation. Right. But I feel like with Lauren, they're making it seem like she was like a hoe or something. Like, especially
with the pictures. Comparing that picture to her
pictures boyfriend. Are over sexualized. And,
right.
I don't know. Something just feels real off with it. I hope they're gonna get down to that case and
but they did the pictures with the lady, the lawyer who sadly committed possibly. They also showed a picture of her death, and I was like, why would you post
a picture? See that? Stop it! Really?
It was New York Post. They posted it. Her death, like her on the ground after the jump. So yeah, I was like, wow, that's how you're gonna tell.
For which case, Lauren or Chesley?
Chesley. Yeah, New York Post. That's how they told the world. So
I didn't see that. I had a dream of her last night. And I told you this morning. I had a dream of her last night. And I had a dream of I saw her on the ground. And I saw a black guy, like hitting the air, like punching the air or something. I don't know what that was all about. Intuitively, I feel like maybe it was my own thoughts projecting in my dream that it might have been a relationship that she was in. Maybe a guy involved in this, but that is horrible. Like, how dare you? And that creates desensitization of black people being murdered and killed. It's disgusting. Watch a movie come out next. I'm done. So, anyways, this is a song pertaining to the Jim Crow law called "Strange Fruit." Jazzy, recorded as a song by Billie Holiday, who is a black woman.
That was a
from
good
1939. this is how that song goes. And I don't, maybe I should look it up. But I'll tell you
Have
how
you
I would think this goes. Southern trees bear of strange fruit. Blood on the leaves and blood at the root. Black bodies swinging in the southern breeze. Strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees. Pastoral scene of the gallant South. The bulging eyes and the twisted mouth. Scent of magnolias, sweet and fresh. Then the sudden smell of the burning flesh. Here is fruit for the crows to pluck, for the rain to gather, for the wind to suck, for the sun to rot, for the trees to drop. Here is a strange and bitter crop.
Mm. I seen it. I seen the movie. That's how I know it was.
What movie is that?
It's by her. Like the movie was all about her life and about the
Really?
song. Yeah, it's called
Okay,
Strange
you know
Fruit.
what? Netflix day. Me and my daughter gonna watch it. Drake wrote a song about this song. I love it.
It's called
I love that you're carrying more, mommy. My baby's getting. I'm so proud of you.
No, I just saw it. I was doing it in class, and I know you'd want to hear about it.
What does this mean to you? Do you care about this stuff?
No, but I have to. It's cool.
See, that was the wrong answer. That was really left field. Okay, I mean, girl, you need another history class. Shoot.
It's not even history. It's LA.
Oh,
It's writing.
14. She got to read that. I should never even ask.
But it's about like how all the like basically the fruit is supposed to be the hanging people from the tree.
I got that part. But how does it make you feel, Izzy? Nothing. Doesn't it make your eye twitch a little bit?
My eyes don't twitch.
I mean, how do you feel being half white and black? Don't you feel like you are caught in the middle of this crap? Oh, Lord Jesus. I can't. I mean, she's half Italian. That's what, what are you going to do? Anyway, last paper my daughter gave me. This is all her material, so I don't know why she acts like she don't care. The Southern women left a perfect picture of a proper little girl and the ideal family in the South in the 1930s. There's a picture of that right here. Of whatever she's talking about. We must persistently strive against selfishness, ill temper, irritability, indolence. It is impossible for the self-centered or ill-tempered girl to win love and friends. I beg to differ. One of the greatest blemishes in the character of any young person, especially of any young girl or woman, is forwardness, boldness, pertinence. The young girl who acts in such a manner as to attract attention in public, who speaks loudly and jokes and laughs and tells stories in order to be heard by others than her immediate companions, who expresses opinions on all subjects with forward self-confidence, is rightly regarded by all thoughtful and cultivated people as one of the most disagreeable and obnoxious characters to be met with in society. That was by Ellen Akin Starrett, The Charm of Fine Manners, 1920s. Which is the opposite of African American culture.
I never heard that one. Right.
I mean, people say that white people don't have a culture. Well, that sounds like a culture to me. The standards that they had to meet were very proper to them, their type of proper. And, that really is something to look at when you got a different culture trying to integrate with those standards. So when we were trying to integrate, I don't think we realized as a race back then that we would also have to assimilate. Mm-hmm. So this one is last one. Southern Belles and Ladies. A Southern Belle was a girl. By the way, this is a long time ago. Okay, the standards have changed. Clearly, look at most of the girls here on TikTok. Okay, the standards have changed. They have adopted our culture now. So
right.
Things have progressed. But Southern Belles and Ladies. A Southern Belle was a girl who was expected to grow up into a lady. She was supposed to be fragile and flirtatious while also sexually innocent. I mean, that sounds really, what's it called? What is it called when you have multiple personalities? Split. Anyways, she was beautiful but risky to touch, like porcelain. Every Southern, what? Every Southerner belle was expected to be up to date on the latest fashions, which often proved tricky and expensive because fashion was constantly changing throughout the 19th century. A true lady embodied the ideas of the South and was it was also hospitable and graceful. Newspaper often took it upon themselves to update their lady readers on the newest fashion trends. The Natchez Weekly Democrat report in November 22nd, 1873, the ladies' readers will be interested to know that spotted short veils are no longer fashionable. Bracelets are now made to twine around the arm and require no clasp. Oh, that changed. I love me a good clasp. Right. And the new style of the hairdressing called the Josephine, the chignons, Chignons, are entirely abolished. The hair is drawn up from the back of the head and piled on the top in thick coils or braids and loosely frizzled in front. That don't even sound cute. So, they were dealing with lots of rules within the white race, as well as trying to segregate us. And this is just a lot. I mean, what are you guys' thoughts on this?
I mean, I know it still exists. The Southern Belles, at least in the South,
yeah,
definitely.
You're in Alabama,
right? And that in high school, everyone auditioned for it. You have to not audition, interview for it, and you gotta be picked. And it's like 8 people, so I don't get it. It's never it's mainly white people, and black people have to give their own Southern Belle or however you want to call it to make their own self valuable because it's usually not black people in it. So I'm not a fan.
Southern Belle. Oh, where'd she go? It kicked you off. Come back on, sis, because I want to know, as a Southern Belle in Alabama, I don't know why it does that. Did I follow you? Let me follow you. Okay. Yeah. So I just want to know, before I go, because I'm going to be back again at 9. Listen, I don't know how people understand this. Being a creator, you guys do this a lot. But I do take my breaks. So as a Southern Belle, an African-American woman, can you just, because I'm going to share this on YouTube and TikTok. I want to know what a Southern Belle is to you as an African-American woman. What are the standards?
So ours is called Azalea Trail Maids. You're supposed to look prestigious. You know, that little, a bit like a princess outfit, basically. That's how it really looks like, if you ask me. They carry umbrellas at the football games. Yeah. They're basically trail maids. Trail? Yeah, trail maids. Okay. Yeah. I know.
I don't know. I'm an island girl.
It's a cult.
Back in Hawaii, pageant girl. I'll tell you what that looks like. But so go on ahead. So she wore a pageant dress, and what else?
Right. And they're at the football games, they're just standing pretty, supposed to be prestigious. Usually just white people. If it is a black person, it's a mixed person because you are based on your looks. Everyone knows it. You have to dress for your looks. They don't really care if you're smart, but it's really based on your look. It's such a biased thing. I'm surprised it's still alive, but they're at the fair. They're just prestigious people, if you ask me. A bunch of white people. Right. No shade.
Wow. So do you think that there's still racism in Alabama? A lot of these laws were made in Alabama.
There's a lot of problem, especially with incarceration here. Racism is alive every part of Alabama. Especially if you're a worker. That's why I cannot wait to leave. I'm just trying to get my community college degree and then I'll move. But especially working, people still feel entitled. I'm surprised they haven't changed, but they still feel like they are better than black people here. and they know it. Our governor Ivy, she doesn't like black people. She after a man was he was proven innocent after his death, after being convicted in the death penalty, and she never said anything about it. She was for it and all of it, and she never said any apologies, her mistakes, or anything. So it's a huge bias here, and I don't feel like it's gonna change.
Do you have the name of that inmate? Name? Do you have the name?
Let me look it. Let me look it. I'm pretty sure he's more than him.
If that's how you say your name. Or Indisa
Alabama
said that it's in the
kid.
Southern Belle, a girl who is loved by everyone for their beauty and obedience and purity. I think that's what it's intended for. But during the 1920s and 1930s, that it was very much different than that. So if you're just hopping on, I just went through Jim Crow laws during that time, and also the standards of beauty and what that meant. And culturally, the Southern Belle really included some sense of control. She couldn't joke. She couldn't laugh out loud. She wouldn't be doing what we're doing here and telling stories and being on TikTok. Right. It's not very Southern Belle-like. I was raised in Hawaii, so ain't nobody trying to be no Southern Belle. And I live in next to New York City. I live in Connecticut, so ain't nobody trying to be on it. I really want to know what it's like to be in New York City, because you guys can't forget that New York, or not New York, but the North is where Black people went to feel free and be free. So,
right.
I bet the culture in the North was way different than the South, as it is now.
I think it is. Also,
go to New York and then go on to Alabama. You're gonna be like, what the hell did I do?
But also,
so you wish we could go back to those days. In a sense, I wish that we could get back to a more universal standard of being classy again. I love the clothes that even African American women used to wear. Just there was a sense of class, left and right, black and white, that I feel just doesn't exist anymore. Like, I like leisure clothes, but at the same token, I feel like our value gets depleted because we're just looking any type of way.
Right. It's
so.
I'm not surprised.
But anyway, all right. Well, I'll let you guys go with that. Listen, I followed you. I can't wait to see what you post. Do you create content?
I'm just now posting. I got unbanned. I might
why?
need to. Yeah. My post when I talked about Trump, and that's why they banned me after that. I looked at his cases about why he was well, he'll never be president again, and I just talked about it. So yeah, it got 1 million likes. I'm surprised, but they banned me.
You got 1 million likes?
Yes.
And they banned you?
Yes. It's still the likes.
I want to see this video.
Right. But they banned me after that.
That's horrible. I have friends that have gotten banned. I'm running on thin ice, to be honest. I'm almost at 100,000, and that was like a dream of mine. But I've been warned, and I always told myself, if I can't be true, then I don't want to do it. So
right.
But I realized, Red, you're here. I'm about to go too, because we gonna get into our debates. But you missed it, Red. You missed a good conversation about the Jim Crow law. You missed it. Come back at 9. I'd love to talk to you. I gotta go. Thank you, sis. I'll talk to you guys soon.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.